Still not used to this.
I know. The reverse.
Side to side.
Yeah. Go live here in 30 seconds. All right, guys, welcome back to the Roofr Masterclass. I am your host, Pete, along with my co-host, Nick.
Hey.
Very excited here to be back talking about Roofr and Roofr proposals specifically today. If anyone doesn't know, we've recently added the Roofr proposal to our free version to give you guys the opportunity to really jump on that and take advantage of testing that product out. Depending on how you guys are doing proposals, we get a lot of folks coming from pen and paper. We also get a lot of folks coming from their CRM looking for a more beefed up way of creating a proposal and looking for a little bit something to stand out from the crowd, something that maybe a little bit more professional or something with a little bit more options or flexibility. So, very excited to have you guys on here today to kind of run through our proposal feature and all of its capabilities. What you guys will get at the free version, as well as, some of the other features that are available if you are to jump on some of our subscriptions. So we do have Matt Radford with us as well in the chat. So be sure if you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to pop them in there and Matt will be happy to answer them. And, if we need to show you guys something, we'll be more than happy to do that. So Nick, let's just talk quick about proposals, right? And what it really means to have a proposal tool. I did a podcast with Latif from Boss Up Solutions. He just aired last week. And, it was great to talk to him. And we were talking specifically about starting a roofing company, from scratch, and what are the tools that are essential to having a roofing company and getting going. And it was interesting to me that he spotlighted a product like our proposal tool as a key ingredient to being successful right out of the box, for a roofing company. So, you come from a roofing background, you've sold roofs. I know Matt's done it. I've been out in the field, speak a little bit to what you see as the advantages of using a tool like this over the traditional way of maybe doing it pen and paper, even for the small person, even for someone who's just starting out.
Yeah, it comes down to like the main thing outside of my taglines of education and transparency is it comes down to the speed and just kind of time saving. When you're looking at a proposal system that's more of a presentation style proposal, which is what we have with Roofr proposals, you're going to be able to save the time from not only driving out there, but also giving out the samples because you could have your PDFs in there, descriptions about building code in the area, and really kind of presenting yourself as that company that stands apart from the crowd. You want to be able to give them everything that they want in one spot and allow them to ask the questions, because we've talked about this before in other masterclasses. Customers in 2022 are going to have questions and they're going to go and know how to find the answers. So instead of letting them kind of search on their own and kind of find something that might not be exactly true or not exactly the way that you want it to be explained, present it for them. And you could have everything in one spot with Roofr, and it saves the time. The other thing that saves time a lot too is everybody who's in this masterclass watching here, we've all had the tire kickers, and we know from the phone call right away that this person's like probably not that serious. So we always him and haw, like, do we send out this quote? Now with the system like Roofr proposals, where you could ship it right from measurements out to proposals and it takes seconds, it's well worth the time just to send it out to them, because you will catch some of those tire kickers and you won't have to waste the time of going out to the roof, doing your thing and building a proposal that could take 24 to 48 hours in the old way.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing to note here is the time factor. Even for somebody who's going out and possibly doing inspections, or if you are going out and meeting customers face to face, being able to take that measurement, pull it beforehand, and potentially even just create this proposal ahead of time and have it already ready to go. Go do your inspection. If you have to go ahead and modify it a little bit, you can. If not, then you're good. You've got it. It's ready to go. And it becomes a one-call close situation, right? Like now I'm not having to potentially go back a second time or, or go back to the truck and write something up and present it and, come back with color selections or something like that. Like I can close it up right there on the spot. And this tool really sets me up for success doing that, by being able to really prep a lot beforehand. And like you said, the time factor is such a huge piece that I think we overlook. We think, the investment of it, having this, and yes, it's going to make me look more technology advanced. And yes, it's going to make me have a cleaner presentation style proposal, but the time that it's going to save you by being prepared ahead of time and having that possibility to close a deal on the spot is really going to be the biggest benefit, right? Because now you've got this extra time. You could potentially be quoting more jobs. Like if you have a sales team and your whole sales team's running quotes this way, they could be running more appointments over the course of the week, which could convert into more jobs. So there's a lot of things that could potentially benefit the team as a whole. And obviously, if you're a smaller person, could just buy you more time to use however you want, whether that's being home with the family, whether that's running more jobs, whether that's, just having more time in the day to manage customers or follow up with customers. All that becomes easier because you have a more streamlined system.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about where we are in this, like with Roofr, is that we speak to probably hundreds of roofers a week. In each person here, like on the sales team and success team, we're always talking to roofers. So we're always getting different perspectives and seeing different ideas on where to go with it. And I had a wonderful conversation with a lady named Crystal out of Georgia yesterday, talking about that exact thing, is that time savings. We're going through a little demo, explaining a little bit about the proposals, which we'll go over today. But she was talking about how traditionally it would take them around 24 to 48 hours to get out these quotes, because they would go out to the job, inspect, take photos, come back to the office, send it to the one estimator in the office who would compile the photos and everything out and send it out to the client. So it would take 24 to 48 hours. When I was able to show her, we could do it really quick like that. Conversely, going back to one of your other points, is I know that we have a user named Corey out of the Southwest Florida area, Tampa area. Not exactly Southwest, I guess, but he talked about how he has like 5 sales reps, and the only issue for them is that they get to a point where they're so busy because they have to build up these quotes that they can't give the required time that customer deserves when they get past a certain amount. And a system like Roofr was able to streamline all of his sales reps' processes, so he didn't have to hire new guys. He was able to send those guys out on more jobs, and they still had enough time to give the required information back to that customer.
Yeah. And I think that, and one of the other things that I really like to talk about when it comes to quoting in a software like this is it allows you to standardize the way you guys quote, right? So what that does for me is that allows me to send anybody out to quote a job, right? Like I don't have to have somebody who's got 18 years experience, right? To be able to go look at a roof and be able to make a sound judgment. I can take any of my guys and send them out there and know I'm going to get the same numbers. I'm going to get the same margins because I've standardized the way that I'm creating that quote. But also it helps me to train incoming people, right? So if I have new people coming in, now I have this standardized system. I have my templates already created, which Nick's going to show you here shortly, and that's easy to build a quote off of the measurement now, just with the click of a button. So I can hire people that don't necessarily have roofing experience and teach them to be roofing salesmen and be very successful at it because I've created this system using something like a Roofr proposal.
Yeah, exactly. The possibilities are really endless when it comes down to a system like this, being able to improve your relationship with your clients and to able to scale your business with finding great salespeople that may not be roofers. There's a lot of great salespeople out there that are not from the roofing industry, and you want to get them into the roofing industry and kind of use their skill set. Well, you can do it now with a system like this, when it's all set up, ready to go with the click of a button.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into it, Nick. You can share your screen and we'll just kind of walk through and start to share a little bit about the software and what its capabilities are. And then, and take a look at it and how we set this up and how it's going to look for the customer.
Of course. We could start off, I'm going to let this load up, but we'll start off on the catalog page. If everybody can see it here, I got everything up there. So we're on our Roofr dashboard. On the left-hand side, we have the company measurements and proposals. One thing that we talked about actually just before, if you ever have any questions, all of our master classes are in this help center here, along with some explainer videos, blogs, frequently asked questions and stuff, and our podcast that Pete hosts. So just bringing that one up for a little plug for Pete.
Yeah, shameless plug.
So on the catalog side, it's great, right, Pete? Like you're able to kind of add anything, and there's no limitations when you come into adding all this.
Yeah, I love the catalog because it's just like a master list of everything, whether it be labor, whether it be material, whether I have, add-ons, whatever the case may be, I can capture it all here. And there's a couple of different ways we can add items to this. I can go in and add one-off items. I can bring in my catalog from my supplier. I saw Dale asking about like ABC, Beacon, those type of things. If they can supply you with a price list, we can upload it right into the system. Here, right where Nick is there as a CSV file, and be able to just upload that and instantly have your whole catalog built in there. And then you can just add your labor line items. We also have the ability to add some common roof systems, so if you're just getting going, it's a quick and easy way to pick what roof systems, you guys would commonly install and just have them populate right into the catalog as well.
Yeah, it really makes everything speed up real quick. So we have these common roof systems with the 6 major items that you're going to have on a roof, which can get you going, just to kind of show you how it flows. So if you were to click on one, like a certain teed roofing system here, it would open up and give you the ice and water, the synthetic, the starters, the hip and ridge, and the shingles all in one. And you could add that to catalog and their coverage would be there. All you have to do is just add in the pricing and goes, it makes it easy that way. You could add multiple items and it will create kind of de facto templates in it as well. And then it really shows how easy it is. Like Pete said, we got the import items. You could add them as a CSV, upload them in seconds as well. You have the measurement and what it's mapped to. So for example, if you're looking at a hip and ridge, you can map it to the hip ridges and the hips, exactly the name of it, for the capping to get right in there. Talk about the linear footage of it and how much is in a bundle and break it all down from there. Another really cool feature about this catalog is you're able to add descriptions on it. So I saw somebody, I think it was Dale, in the questions that asked about Xactimate. We do lump sum. Our system's perfectly set up for retail and lump sum quoting on the insurance side. And when you're adding in descriptions like this, you could add in descriptions like your F9s, as well as just standard descriptions that you want to help that customer understand a little bit better. Talk about warranties, talk about applications and everything else like that. And that can be added in and transferred directly into your templates. And then ultimately your quotes, really breaking down everything bit by bit. The other cool thing is our search feature is really, really powerful here. So if I want to just search out something here, I could just say SOP, which is the Suprema. I don't even type the whole thing, and it's going to bring up that item right away. And if you want to add an item in, very, very simple to do. You just have the add item on the bottom here. Type in the name. So let's just say we're going with Atlas Pinnacle. And then installation. Simple as that, right?
I saw a question in the chat real quick from Shay, and was about having to add line items with color selections or any kind of things like that. And this description area really gives you the ability to add all that information in, so that when your guys are out in the field and they present that item, all of it's there in the description. There is a note section when the customer is signing. So if the customer's picking colors and everything, you can plug all that info in and have all that right there as the customer signs, so that way it's visible back on the dashboard when that comes back as a signed contract, and it's easy to work off of that information from there.
Yeah, it really makes it simple. Like you could really kind of customize it to whatever you're looking for. And as you can see, there's a lot of things that you can map directly to. I just want to go with the pitched area, which is the square footage. You could do it in squares as well. I could say that this bundle is 32.8 square feet. The bundle cost is, with this inflation, could be $400. I'm not sure right now, and then you can write per bundle here, put in your tax amount, and you're good to go. And that's as easy it is to add an individual line item, and it's now in your catalog and ready to go with everything else. And to that point, Pete, yeah, you can go right in here and say, let me just scroll to the bottom of my big master list here. You're able to go in there and add a description to talk about the colors, to talk about what the warranty is on here, the win rating, and etc. And you have a lot of ways to format it and really make it something beautiful.
Yeah, and that's key for, especially if you're a scope of work estimator. If you're not
Mhm.
getting as granular as all these individual line items, and you just want to quote a scope of work and just have a scope of what your project entails and what you guys normally would do, this is a great way to capture it. You can create that scope of work item. Hey, we're going to install a timberline roof system from GAF. And underneath that, you can have a whole description of what that entails. That area allows for a really big amount of information to be added. And I've seen guys build almost an entire page worth of a scope and add it right into that description section. And then you can map that one item and it'll drop you out a price. Very easy to do a scope of work type of proposal on here, as well as a granular, line item based proposal. So,
Yeah, you could really
tons
fluff
of
it up too.
flexibility.
Yeah, you could really fluff it up too with these descriptions. Like you see here, I just said North America's best-selling shingle with a 50-year warranty and 150-mile-an-hour wind rating. You could sound as markety as you want, or really go down, like if you want to get really technical, get down to those F9s that you used to use in Xactivate. Now you're going over a lump sum, add those in here so you could really break down what the purpose of this product is, why we're installing it, and why we're recommending it.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's so easy to build out this catalog on the back end. And I like the fact that it's all centralized in one catalog. You know what I mean? It's not
Mhm.
like materials in one place, labor's in another, and your add-ons are someplace else. Like it's just one big master catalog, easy to find stuff. Like you said, easy to search for things, easy to update those items if need be. And that captures all of it. So let's go to the next step, right? So now I've built this catalog out. Let's say I've added 400 or 500 items in here, from my price list from ABC. I got everything I could potentially ever order from SRS in there, whatever the case may be. Where do I go next, right? Like, how do I get this set up so that my team can really benefit from using it?
Of course. Yeah. So over here, we have the templates, which is the next button over. And from the catalog, once you have everything built out, you hit the templates and you're able to build out as many templates as you want. So really specifying which items that you really want to focus on. If you have just a single option, like a Owens Corning, an ICO, a GAF, a Atlas, you could go with just a one option system there. Or if you want to start offering multi-option bids, like a true good, better, best, a lump sum, a shingles, and a metal, and a eaves, like a soffit fascia trough, which is a soffit fascia gutters for people in other areas of the States, or just the shingle flat aluminum. You could really go anywhere with this and create a very simple template to speed up your quoting for the next time. So once you can get everything moving on it, all you have to do to create a template is just click on this new template here and just start by adding items. And by adding items, it's very, very simple. You can just jump in here, take in something like this. We're going to start off with removal and replacement. There we are, removal and disposal of existing roof. There it is. Then you could add in the products that you have in there. So if you're looking at ICO, let's just say it is Cambridge. There it is. And you just keep on going through this ice and water shield. Oops. And just keep on building this out. And it takes very, very little time. And as you can see, everything's porting directly over. The map to measurements that you had, the coverage, the unit costs, the unit, and everything else. All you have to do there, your descriptions come with it as well. And you could start building this out from there. You could also jump onto the options name and change it up, saying this is an ICO roof replacement option. I'm a roofer, so my spelling is poor. I apologize ahead of time. And then for summary, you can really add in here like just a little bit of like a quick snippet of it so the customer can see. So you can just say ICO architectural. See, never spelled that one right. Shingle option, and you
That's
could
all
say,
practice for.
yeah, exactly. You can see my Grammarly pop up there for me. It's the only thing that saves me. 30-year warranty with a 80 mile, oh, sorry, this would be 130 mile per hour wind rating. You could put that all in there and make it nice and easy to go. Then you could easily add another option and make this a good, better, best system, or a multi-select where you can upgrade an item. So if you want to say upgrade to gutters, very simple, upgrade to gutter replacement. and then you could add the summary as 5-inch K style. You could do this, Nick. Style gutters. You could say it's seamless or whatever, and then just simply just go in here, 5-inch K styles. There you are, and that's an upgrade option. Really, really cool how you could really customize this and increase your selling ability by offering upgrades, by supplementing things, by showing different pitches and different availabilities in a good, better, best system.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, this is like one of my favorite ways to quote this. This multi-option selection tool is so important because it gives me the ability to go there and say, hey, I know you called me to take a look at your roof, but while I'm here, I'm going to give you a quick quote on that siding repair, or those basement windows that need to be replaced, or that fence, or whatever the case may be, whatever other things that you cover, right? And you can add all those in there and allow that customer to cherry pick and go through that list and pick what they want. But it gives you the opportunity to present all those upsell opportunities up front. And it does two things. It allows you to close a higher sale at that point of contact. But what it also does too is it keeps you fresh in their mind, right? Like, let's say I'm the customer and I've only picked, I say, nah, you know what? I only need you for the roof right now. But guess what? A year from now, when I'm still looking at that siding that needs to be repaired, I'm going to remember that, hey, that guy gave me a quote for siding too. Right. So I'm going to go there first before I go looking for, someone else to do my siding. Right. So now you've essentially quoted something that could win you work down the road, months or years into the future, So I love the multi-option tool because I just think it does so much to keep you relevant in that customer's mind and to work with them in the future, on some of those things, even if it doesn't work out to be part of that initial project.
Of course. And like a really cool thing, and I've heard you say this before, that the customer is not going to remember your company name. Most likely they're going to remember Pete, and you're going to be saved in their phone as Pete the roofer. So they're going to be calling you back. Yeah. So giving them multiple options and helping them out and keeping your name at the top of head. I think your exact line was comparing it to a mechanic. Like, you have a mechanic that you always go back to. You have a plumber that you always go back to. Be that roofer that they'll always go back to. So for an example on this, you could have a roof maintenance program that you could build in there, and you can just add an item if you want. Program like this. You don't have to have it all in there all the time, and then just add it in so they could have a roof maintenance person, and now you're their go-to person on that always.
Yeah. And I think, the maintenance program is such a big deal because, I think it's a great tool marketing wise to just be like, you're not just showing up at that person's house, but all the neighbors around you are seeing your truck. Like, hey man, why is that guy's truck at your house 3-4 times a year? Right. Like, oh, he's just coming to check on my roof. What? I didn't even know you could do that. It's a great marketing tool. People start to see you in the neighborhood consistently over the course of the year. And now it's going to equate into other business. Right. So it's a genius move. The maintenance program, I've always been a huge fan of that ever since, the first contractor ever showed me that he did that. He rolls it right in as an add-on to selling a roof job. Hey, we're closing this job with you guys. We're going to be putting a new roof on your house. Go ahead and sign up for this maintenance agreement with us, and we'll continue to maintain your roof and inspect it over, quarterly over the life of your roof. So it's a genius move, and it keeps you, like you said, it makes you become that guy. Right. Mm-hmm. So let's take a little bit of a shift in gears here, Nick, and talk about the repair piece, because this is something that you and I have talked a lot about with Roofr as a quoting tool, and how it can really benefit the guys who are repair oriented, or even if let's say you have a small company and maybe you have a repair division or a couple of repair techs that are just out there running repair work. And if you don't, guys, I can tell you that I've been asking a lot of questions of a lot of roofers about this, and there are some people making some serious money with just repair guys running around, like $500,000 a year just from the repair division alone. So it's something to definitely take a look at if you guys are just re-roofers, and not focusing as much on that. And this tool is really ideal for that situation, right? Like, it's going to allow your techs to go out, inspect a potential damage or inspect an issue, and be able to quickly create a quote, a really nice professional quote, in a matter of minutes, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's like the way that I grew up with my dad's company. It was something similar. He would always go out there, inspect it. And if there was a repair to be done, he would say, I'll do the repair first. Give me a call in a couple of years or in a year or in the fall, whatever the case may be. And that person's going to appreciate that way more than trying to shove a expensive roof quote down their throat. They're going to become that person who's trusting. And what's really cool about our system is being able to map everything to it. So I have a repair quote here. And what I've built out is a section for a inspect pitch roof and repair option. I have an option for inspect the flat roof and repair option. And then I have the full replacement options in here as well. And because we have a multi-option, we can really dig in. I saw someone and I saw you comment about company cam. So that's an option, but we also have like a version where we could add in photos of a repair section that you need to with some annotations as well and really break down everything. You could also take your roofer measurements and upload that into an option when you're building a proposal like this and talk about the areas that you want to address as well. Very easy to mark up a photo and upload it because it's just a PDF. Makes it super easy. You could also have like a repair option, a little blurb about you and about us and the use for it. And then a little breakdown of what you're looking at for your brochures, a little bit more information about the products that you're using, as well as the shingles and the flat. And what it comes out to look like is really absolutely amazing because it will map the measurements to everything. You'll have a proposal like this. So let me just increase the screen here so you can see everything. You have a nice proposal that's going to stand out, separate you from the crowd that's out there. You'll have your logo at the top, a cover image, and you're going to have options like this: inspect flat roof, inspect repair, and a full replacement on this, as well as a flat roof, and multiple options. So the customer can now pick, I want to do a full replacement on the shingles because it's only $6,200, but I don't want to replace the flat because it's $10,000. I just want to repair it. So now you're guaranteeing work, and then you're guaranteeing repeat work down the line because you're actually setting yourself up for success on these repairs. Just like that, I was talking earlier about that lady from Georgia. She was talking about having that maintenance line in there because now you could have all these options, repair options, full replacement options, and you could also have a maintenance option. So your sales reps are going out there, whether it be virtually or in person at a kitchen table. You're not going to walk away without a signed quote because you're giving them all the availabilities for them to remember your name.
Yeah, I saw a question, in the chat asking about customizable pictures. One thing to note, guys, as we show you this, the ability to add all these PDFs, the ability to add photos, marked up photos, but also the ability to add a custom cover image, right, Nick? As we move up in our plan, so you can have the ability to drop a custom cover image on this. So, if you're someone who's going out and maybe using a company cam type of product to take pictures of the property, you could potentially use one of those pictures uploaded as the cover of the contract or the quote here.
Exactly. It makes it really nice and simple to add those cover images on. Let me just open back up that desktop image here. Oopsies. Here we are. Oops.
Oop, that's HubSpot.
Leave it to Nick to forget about tech. There it is. So uploading the cover image is quite simple. So you have some cover images that are stock that we have for you, like shingle one, a metal standing seam, kind of like a barrel tile type metal, as well as some slate and barrel tiles and clay. Then you could just go and upload. You could upload an image there of the front of the house and add it in. Really make something beautiful. And like you saw in those, whoever commented on it, you saw a lot of my templates had different cover images. Here's another one of a house here that has it broken down as well. And last but not least, let's just bring this baby in too. Here's another one as well. You're able to really break this all down and make it super beautiful and super presentable. And think about the situation now. A customer calls you. You were able to order a report and get it delivered in less than 6 or less than 3 hours, able to build a proposal like this and send it to the customer. You're standing out from the crowd. Everybody's going to be compared to you now because you're giving them the information that they want. You're giving them some really nice customizable features and really offering them, if we're talking about the repair option, multiple options where There's a economical price as well as a full replacement price with a nice warranty added on.
Yeah, and one thing that I really like to note is, in some of these really competitive markets, something that we've really been talking about, you and I even talked about it when we were on, the TC Backer show, is the speed to lead factor, right? And getting to be the first one in the door, especially if you're someone who's doing insurance work, like those people get bombed with quotes, when a storm hits them. And so, now you have the opportunity to really like target those people, get a report back super quick, roll it into a proposal and send that proposal to them. And by the time I walk in the door as the guy who's traditionally writing up a quote, they've already gotten a quote from me because I've sent it through Roofr to them probably days ahead of when that guy's actually getting to them finally, So, the speed to lead factor and being the first person in the door now is such an advantage. And then to be the first person in the door, now everybody else's proposal is being compared to yours. And if yours looks like this, it's a no-brainer for me as a customer, right? It looks professional, it's informative, like you said, it's educational, it's transparent, all the information that I need is there. If I'm comparing this to most of the other quotes that are coming out of, the CRMs or potentially just handwritten or coming out of Word or something like that, like I'm going to own that process all day with this.
Yeah, it really, again, there's anything you can do with this. And when we were down at IRE, you and I were talking with a lot of contractors, and hopefully some of them are watching here. But we're talking about this exact process where if you're the first person in, everyone's being compared to you. If you're the last person called, you're going to get a report out, a proposal out to them in seconds and blow everybody else out of the water that came before you. And the really cool thing is being able to add stuff like photos, PDFs, text is so simple with us, and able just to kind of add something in, click on it, and building up that template so you always have it. Or like ad hoc at the end, if you want to add something in, it's very, very simple to do. We can just take a quoting system like this, or a brochure that you've gotten online, or a PDF of a measurement report, or if you make a nice like about us page about you guys. I know that speaking of one of your previous podcast guests, Latif always creates like a nice about us page for his clients to really break down who we are. Let's set us apart. Let's talk about it. I've been in business for 28 years. I'm a father-son company, whatever the case is. Show off, talk about yourself. We're really there for it. And it really helps out. And then when you send these quotes out and you're blowing their mind, you want to kind of keep up to date and kind of see what they're doing, what they're thinking about. Have they looked at the quote? That's not a problem with Roofr. We're able to really help out with that. Isn't that right, Pete?
Yeah. And I think that's a huge part of it. When we get into, okay, we've gotten to the point, maybe we're sending out all these quotes, right? We're bombing a neighborhood. Maybe we've got a neighborhood and we're hitting all the customers up. Maybe we know, it's a subdivision where all the houses were built around the same time and we want to just quote everybody. We go ahead and we do that. How do we track it from there, right? And that's the key, is how do we know where they are in the process? How do we know when to follow up with these customers? We've created a history in here. So once a proposal goes out, you can go into that proposal in your dashboard here and you can see, I know there was a question about this in the chat. You can actually see the history of that proposal, how many times they've viewed it, when they've looked at it, when was it sent? Maybe you have your sales team sending it out of here. We have a Teams functionality now where you can have your whole team in one account. And maybe you as the admin or the owner of the company wants to go in and see, okay, did they get that quote out? Was it sent? Or, are they following up with those customers? Let's go in and see where their customers stand in the process. I can go in here easily and see what's going on with all the proposals that I have created in the system.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can see if they've viewed it 1-2 times. If you see them viewed 2 or more times, it's a perfect kind of cue for you, the salesperson or the business owner, and be like, "Hi, Mrs. Jones. I just wanted to see if you had any questions," because she does, because she's looked at it multiple times. So it's a really good way to keep on top of your customers. Another, keep on bringing it back to Latif in your last podcast that was out last week, but a big thing that is missed by most salespeople is the follow-up. You've got to really focus on that, because I've always said that the lead's not dead until they tell me to go away or they say, yes, I'm going to sign it. So that's, you're able to really kind of focus on your follow-ups, prioritize your personas on where they are in the buying process. The other thing I love about this, it tells you which system they picked in here. So if they've picked multiple ones, you can see that they did that there, as well as what's been quoted. You can see the view if something has been canceled. And you could also see in the notes what the customer left. So I had a joke that my dad and I used to say that you're not a real roofer until you put the wrong color on a roof. So this way, you're not going to make that mistake because it's written right on your computer, right beside that file there, that you know exactly what color you're getting, what they want, if they have any specifications. It's all there for the customer, and it's written in stone. So you have the organization available there.
Yeah, and I love that piece of it because it's not like we have to go back later to find that out. It's there. They've signed off on it by signing the contract, right? So we have that signature attached to that color selection or whatever that may be, what options they've selected. So, we have that, that binding contract around that, and we're not having to go back later and potentially have an issue with the wrong color or something along those lines.
Yeah, this is a new feature that we just added, and I love it. I love it. Is the fact that you don't have to reopen that quote to kind of double check to see what they signed if they haven't left any notes. You can go into your Roofr dashboard and just click on view the option right here, and you can see everything that they selected on our screen. If it's a multi-option, the price that they went with, and the prices that they ignored. So if you do call them back up and they say, hey, I'm kind of changing my mind on the gutters, you're like, cool, just click on this button. You can see exactly what that price was. So really, really cool, innovative stuff that it keeps on coming around here. You can view the side proposal. And when it comes down to tracking, you got the draft, sent, won, lost. You can go through that and really filter. And again, with our really cool search functionality, you can go in and just type in an address here and search it. You can see everybody on that street that you've ordered. Very, very quick and simple for that aspect there. One thing that I saw in the questions there was integrations. Do you want to talk a little bit about our Zapier integration and how we could help out with customers, our client CRMs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, that's been a big one for us. How do we transition from this, being a, something that you're doing your whole sales process in, right? Like I can keep my whole sales team here in Roofr at this point now. I can get the measurement, I can push it to a quote all the way through the signature, but obviously you guys are going back to the CRM portion of it to do the production end of things and to track the rest of the customer's history. We've created a Zapier integration that allows you to essentially take this proposal information and push it into any CRM, right? As long as the CRM has the actions on their end, that we can push that information over, which most of them have at least the basic functionality to do that. We can push over a PDF of the proposal. We can push over basic proposal information like the customer's info, the price of the contract, those type of things. So, it really opens up the door to have this, like I said, and really push your sales guys to live in this, right? Live in Roofr. They can do everything that they need to do over there. They don't have to be necessarily a part of the full-blown part of the CRM, right? And they could live over here and they could just push that information via Zapier over there. So, and that becomes a time saver for them because everything's under one roof. It becomes a money saver for you as a company to potentially not have them as users over there, because we have the ability to add as many users as you want. And now with our team functionality, you can create an account for your team. You can invite all of your sales guys to that team. You can set up the templates and everything for them. They can just roll in there and use those templates. They don't have to worry about setting everything up. It's all going to be there for them. So you can do all the legwork ahead of time, then just invite your team members in and they can go straight to quoting in this.
Yeah, that's a big point, is the saving money part, as you want to streamline your process. But let's be honest, we're all business owners here, probably on this call, or salespeople that are high up in the company. You want to be able to save time and save money. You don't want to be spending this and that and everything. So with Roofr being kind of like an all-in-one sales tool, then you could really drive down the cost that you are spending on your CRM while still utilizing the things that are great with that CRM and allow it to come here. Not only that, but with Zapier, you could integrate with, 4,800 different companies out there. So QuickBooks for invoicing. We know a lot of people use QuickBooks as well. Could really kind of like help out with the invoicing, the payment collection, and everything, with our triggers moving directly over to that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, there's so many options when it comes there, depending on what you guys use. If you're just a QuickBooks guy, if you're, creating stuff out of QuickBooks, if you're got a full blown CRM in something like a Job Progress or an AccuLinks or a Job Nimbus, have the ability to send all that stuff over to them. So, I really appreciate everybody jumping on today. I don't know if there's anything in addition, Nick, that you think we haven't covered. I think think you've shown just about everything here. Maybe good, better, best. We haven't really dove into that much. That's
Yeah.
more of a premium feature for us. I think the good, better, best option, but it is a fantastic thing. If you guys have ever done any good, better, best type of quoting, the system offers that as well. I know that Nick touched on it briefly earlier, but and this can be anybody. Like if you're doing, let's say you're just a GAF guy, for instance, if you want to offer different packages that offer different types of warranties or upgrades in materials, you can do that. Or if you want to offer 3 different types of roofing systems from 3 different vendors, I've seen that type of setup, a Tamco, and Owens Corning, and a GAF option, all with different pricing. So you can essentially set that all up in here, just like you would the multi option that Nick showed, and have that good, better, best option for them. I think you've got one, right, Nick, that has a couple different types of roofing systems on it.
Yeah.
Where they can see, the customer can see the advantages of each. You could essentially, even if you wanted to do an in-house presentation and show them, hey, here's what's good and bad about this one. Here's what's beneficial about this product. And then they can select just that specific individual, good, better, or best option that they want to go with, and sign off on that. So similar to multi-option, just allows them to pick just one of the options. And you have the ability to toggle whether you want it to be a multi-option selection or just a good, better, best setup.
Yeah, like I was just showing in the brief before is the good, better, best. I used an ICO example with a 3-tab Cambridge, Dynasty, and Nordic there. And you could pick one of the options. It makes it very simple. But if you want them to pick multiple options, for example, like here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different roofing systems: BP, Owens Corning, CertainTeed, and GAF. I also have a roof rejuvenation option, but I know that we also have the aluminum option. So I want them to be able to pick multiple here. Very simple in our system, just to go here onto settings and click on that multi-option select, and it will allow them to pick multiple options at the same time. So it gives them the ability to add things up in real time as well. I saw somebody in the comments asked about financing. You could add your financing link directly into a situation like this and able to break it down and have them pre-approved beforehand. So when they're going to pick their multi-option, say they're approved up to $60,000, you could add that up until they hit that $60,000 mark to really help out the customer get exactly what they want, as well as help your average sale price at the end of the day. I can quickly run through that, Pete, if you want, like just jumping into one of these here and showing the option on a multi-option here. So if we were to jump in for an address like this, click on create proposal from your measurements tab. Now you have the option to pick all these templates here. So we'll pick we'll do that repair one because we spoke about it before and I showed you the multi-option, the good, better, best option there. But once you click on this, it's going to calculate all those quantities directly from your Roofr report. So all your measurements, your line items, your eaves, rakes, ridges, you name it, is all being calculated into multiple quotes. In this case, 4 different quotes in this time frame. And this is when Pete was talking about saving time and speed to lead. Here it is.
Yeah, one thing to note too, I saw Marlene's question in the chat there. One thing to know when you guys jump on proposals with us and you add a subscription, you're going to get a customer success person who's going to walk you through all this. Everything that we're doing today, they're going to help you set all this up. They're going to go in there and really go into much more detail even than what Nick and I are going into today. I can tell you it's so straightforward that you guys see how easy it is for us to set this stuff up and execute in it. But, even initially setting it up, you're going to have questions, especially around a lot of times the mapping and the coverage portion of it and getting, all your measurements to map correctly. Take advantage of those guys, schedule some time, even if it's just 30 minutes, with one of those customer success folks and let them walk you through it and really show you all the advantages of doing this and get you set up properly so that you guys are going to be the most successful on this that you could possibly be.
Yeah. And the really cool thing is that we at Roofr just dropped it down to the free option as well. So you have 5 proposals to play with on the free option. We're always going to have our free, and we're always bolstering up our plans and our offerings. So now you could play around with 5 different proposals, send them out. If you get one of those signed, you paid for the year, realistically, right, Pete?
Yeah. The profit from that job is going to pay for your subscription. So
exactly. So you can go here and you can see you get the download PDF if you want to print it out and hand it to the customer. You have the send to customer. And you also have a sign now feature, which is awesome. So if you're that kitchen table seller and you've done the measurement outside, built the proposal in the truck and walked in, you have the option now the customer can sign now on your iPad. So you can get that done right away. Also, the send to customer here, you just send it out, have that information. You could put in 10,000 characteristics there. I could speak well. And get everything out there and pick color, all that stuff. You could really get into the nitty gritty. And then you could also, like I said, financing link, www.financing.com. Really, really, really generic, but you could have that all in there. So when you send this off to the customer, you'll be able to see the difference of it and how it shows up. So I'm just going to hop into my email real quick.
Yeah, I love the sign now option. I mean, that's something that we just added, and it is a great feature because, so many times, especially like we were talking about those repair guys right now, your repair techs can literally write this up in the truck on the spot, take it back up, hit that sign now feature, review it really quick with the customer, and this customer can take their finger real quick and go ahead and sign right on their iPad or their laptop or whatever they're using out in the field, and back in the office, we're just going to see signed contracts rolling in, right? Like we're just going to see the status updating in the dashboard while these guys are just out running jobs, right? So we'll just be able to constantly keep track of, what they're quoting, what they're getting signatures for, how much it's for, so we'll know everything that's going on in the course of their day, but it's going to make it so simple for them because now rather than having to write stuff up or call back to the office and have a quote written up and email to them, whatever the case may be, however you guys are set up, now they can create it super fast, right? Like in a matter of minutes and then just get the customer to sign right on the spot. So that's a huge addition.
Yeah, it's so powerful now. Like it just keeps on adding and that's kudos to our product and our tech team, just always adding things. So that's one thing that we can guarantee you. If you sign up on Roofr, you're always going to find something new. We're always going to improve our products and make it better. So this is what it would look like from the customer side, by the way. Email would come out, your logo would be here, all the information that you want. And when we're talking about financing, add your Mosaic Swift link in, add your PowerPay, your Sun Life, your Blue Page Pro Service Financing, any of these big financing people in there in the space, you could add the link directly in here. They can click on it and get pre-approved right before it. Then if they want to click on view the proposal, it's going to open that up here. And let's open it up how it looks. So you'll have it open up. It will look exactly like it did on our end before, where it has that broken down everything piece by piece, the brochures, the explanations on everything, the descriptions on all the line items, so on and so forth. And then you can do a little internet breaking down, but this is the cool part. The customer gets a sign now feature. They can click on here, and this is with the power of the multi-option. So we saw that financing link. Let's pretend that they were financed up to $20,000. Well, now they could just click on multiple things here and see that number grow and subtract. So they could actually play with it and see what the options are surrounding it. They could pick the color. I want certainteed. So let's say that we want driftwood. And then to sign it is really easy. Boom. Sign now. And now it's updated in your account. It's that simple for these multi-option ones. And if it's a good, better, best, they could only select one of those. Really, really powerful, really cool interactive tool. And again, when you're comparing it to your competitors, you're going to blow them out of the water with something like this. There we are.
Here it comes. There we go.
Perfect.
Well, I want to say thanks to you, Nick, for running through all that, and for everybody that jumped on today. I know that we went a little over on time, I think, but a lot of stuff to cover here and a lot of stuff to talk about, and obviously a very powerful tool that we've built here in a very short amount of time. From version 1 that we released last May to now, it's like night and day what this tool has for capabilities. And, still lots of stuff coming, here, a lot of new features coming, in the near future that are just going to continue to make this more and more of a stout product for your sales team. And so I really appreciate you guys jumping on. If you guys are interested in getting on a subscription with us or, potentially learning more about proposals, feel free to reach out to the sales team, and book a demo. I think Matt's dropped the link in there a couple times. Also, like Nick said, if you guys are on your actual dashboard, we have all of the master classes that we've done, a link there for that. So hit those up, take a look at all the master classes and go through the product. And every time we add a feature, we essentially do a master class and, try to cover that feature in depth and how it works and how it's going to benefit the roofer. So, take advantage of those and learn as much as you guys can about the product. And we're always here for suggestions as well. So, I appreciate everybody jumping on and taking the time today. And we look forward to having you guys at the next masterclass.
Awesome, guys. Thanks so much. And looking forward to chatting with you all.
Have a good day, everybody.